Buckle up, because we're getting into some wild moments from Hell's Kitchen, and you won't believe what went down behind those kitchen doors. Let's dive right in with a moment that'll make you question if you're watching a cooking show or a soap opera, and this one's a total jaw-dropper.
So you didn't even make the marinara sauce?
No.
So, let's talk about Monique Booker. She pulled a major shortcut move right out of the gate by using canned sauce in the very first challenge of season 14. Picture this. It's the signature dish challenge, and every contestant is pouring their heart into impressing Chef Ramsay. They're throwing everything they've got into making a dish that'll blow his taste buds away. And then there's Monique.
You made it.
It's just from a jar.
She's thinking, why go through all that trouble? Let's just keep it simple and easy. She presents her dish to Chef Ramsay, confidently calling it Moe's pasta.
It's called Moe's pasta.
But when Chef Ramsay asks about her marinara sauce recipe, things go south fast. Monique, without a second thought, admits she used store-bought sauce from a jar. You can almost see Chef Ramsay's face in your mind, sheer disbelief. But hey, why imagine when I can show you?
So you didn't even make the marinara sauce?
No.
So let's take a pause and really think about this. Can you even call yourself a chef if you can't make your own sauce from scratch? I mean, even I make mine at home. I'm not shelling out $10 for the good stuff from the store. Was she just lazy, or was she really that clueless? But here's where it gets wild. Monique actually tries to defend herself, saying there's nothing wrong with what she did.
I don't think there's anything wrong with canned sauce. Unless you're from fucking Italy and you're like born.
According to her, who's got time to make sauce from scratch unless you're a real Italian? Seriously, the nerve. And then she crosses the line by arguing with Chef Ramsay.
Why did it? You should have just told me. I would have did it. You came
Oh, I've
to
got
the
to tell you
kitchen.
what I want.
Yes.
On their first meeting, no less. Not only did she take the easy way out, but she also had the audacity to go toe-to-toe with Chef Ramsay, starting to think she's more than just clueless. But here's the twist. After all that, Chef Ramsay shocks everyone by giving Monique's dish a whole point.
Pasta, 1 out of 5.
Okay, got it.
I was floored. I didn't expect her to get anything. Honestly, I was surprised she even stayed on the show. And guess what? My hunch wasn't too far off. Monique kept being a total disaster. During dinner service, she was on the meat station with Christine Hazel, but get this, she couldn't even figure out how to turn on the oven.
Reason.
It's not on.
It is.
The oven's off.
How did she even make it past the auditions? But wait, it gets even worse. Not only was Monique struggling with the basics, but she somehow managed to serve up raw lamb and pork that was as dry as the desert.
And dry pork, like pork jerky.
I mean, talk about impressively awful, right? And here's the kicker. She got nominated for Elimination not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Step forward, please.
Seriously, that's almost impressive in a twisted way. And when Chef Ramsay asked her why she thought she deserved to be in Hell's Kitchen, her response was something else.
Because I'm better than these two. She, under pressure, she breaks down like this is serious.
Eventually, the rest of the red team just couldn't take it anymore. They made it clear they were completely over her nonsense. But hey, at least now Monique can go wild with all the canned sauce she wants without worrying about getting on Chef Ramsay's bad side, right? But wait, looks like the internet hasn't taken too kindly to Monique either. One viewer commented saying, "This dumbass ain't even got an Instagram because she was shamed out of it." So much hate. Which is well deserved because you go on TV and act the way you do. So what y'all you expect? Most of the reward she got to do was only because someone else won it. She didn't win nothing. She should have never been in this show. And now she's being sued because her food basically poisoned 11 people at a dinner. I had a friend that had her food and ended up with food poisoning. The whole dinner party had it. They were about to sue her. She sucked on Hell's Kitchen and she still sucks. Seriously, she needs to stop calling herself a chef. Seriously, can't wait to see you in court. Wow. Now, that's quite a strong opinion right there. Now, I am not sure how much of these allegations are true, because this is perhaps the only reference I found of someone slamming her food and calling it out for putting people's lives at risk. But one thing's for sure, she hasn't made as many fans as she'd have liked to in the HK universe. What do you think? Was Monique fit to be featured on Hell's Kitchen? Or was she done dirty by the production house? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Alright, with the Monique drama behind us, let's jump into the chaos that went down in episode 5. This time, it was all about Andrea Heinle and her sneaky antics at the meat station. She got pretty bold, deciding to hide some burnt Wellingtons.
I fired Wellingtons. I realized that they were burnt. Then there was no way I was going to take a burnt bottom.
I mean, seriously? You're just gonna stash those Wellingtons and hope no one notices? But things got real wild when Chef Ramsay confronted her. Her response, absolutely mind-boggling.
Where's the Wellington, please?
Chef, I'm refiring a Wellington. The bottom's burning.
Yep, she actually pretended she was refiring them. The level of deception was off the charts. She was ready to do whatever it took to save herself. But Chef Ramsay's no dummy. He quickly uncovered her secret stash of ruined meat, and let me tell you, he was not pleased.
Putting protective paper.
Shut up, you, yeah? Shut up. What is this?
They burn, I'm not quite sure.
And what was Andrea's reaction? She had the nerve to say, I don't know how it burned. Come on, Andrea, let's be real. Food burns when you crank up the heat too high. You basically torched those Wellingtons. So what did Chef Ramsay do next? He gathered the entire red team to witness the glorious mess of burnt Wellingtons. And just to amp up the drama, he did something truly epic.
Hey, come here. Oh. There you go. There you go. There. Oh, dear.
Oh man, no one saw that coming? Did you see the fear in Andrea's eyes? Chef Ramsay didn't hold back at all. No mercy.
Anything else? What else have you
No,
hit?
Chef, that's it, Chef.
That's it, is
That's
it?
Chef.
What are you doing?
Andrea was lucky not to be kicked out right then. Just like Monique, she's one of the few who really deserved it. But when it was time for her comeback, she had the guts to claim her Wellingtons just needed another 4 minutes.
We're about 4 minutes out, Chef.
Why still 4 minutes? Is it coming in 4 minutes?
But Chef Ramsay, always sharp, reminded her that she'd already used that excuse. Talk about timing, Andrea. And let's not even start on her chaotic communication with Carol Scott over at the fish station. That was a whole new level of crazy.
Please tell me, Andrea.
Sweetie, I already told you I'm about 6 minutes out.
What a wild ride, right? And Chef Ramsay was definitely losing it with Andrea and her ever-changing timing on the Wellingtons. Just check out this moment.
Chef.
What are you doing?
I'm fucking up, Chef.
You're fucking up big time.
Yes, Chef.
And I'm-
That's one way to make my ears ring. And if Andrea wasn't already giving Chef Ramsay enough of a headache, Colleen Cleek decided to jump in with a raw dessert. Talk about adding fuel to the fire, or maybe her problem was not adding enough fire in the first place?
Hey, wake up, yeah?
Hard
Yeah,
fucking
come
rock.
here. Raw pastry, raw pear.
But here's the kicker. Andrea, who was already messing up, had the nerve to call out Colleen. Like, seriously?
Chef Ramsay wasn't kidding when he said it was raw. It was raw.
Way to practice what you preach. Chef Ramsay must have been beyond done. Just look at his face.
Service has totally collapsed.
Christ almighty.
2.5 hours.
After that disaster, it was no shock that both teams were declared joint losers.
It's impossible to announce a winning team.
I won't even get into the special kind of fail the blue team had, but if you want the scoop, drop a comment below. But hey, the red team did manage to snag the consolation prize of best of the worst. Quite the achievement, especially with Andrea dragging them down. During the heated deliberations, Andrea finally admitted she had a terrible performance.
The way I cooked tonight was fucked up.
Talk about an understatement, she told Ella Limtiaco, the brains behind the nominations, that she wouldn't hold it against her if she picked her.
It's safe to say that Andrea and Colleen are the two on my list to go up.
How noble, right? And when the moment of truth came, as expected, Andrea became LA's nominee for elimination alongside Jay Maxwell from the blue team.
Okay, Jay, Andrea, step forward.
But don't worry, Andrea had a plan. She wanted to get back to the meat station and prove she could handle it.
Stay.
I want to stay in Hell's Kitchen because
That unshakable confidence just doesn't quit, does it? And guess what? Andrea actually survived elimination. I guess one night of burnt Wellingtons doesn't matter when you're convinced you're destined to win. And hey, she got pretty close. Despite all my ragging, she really did turn things around from this point on. It was kinda admirable, honestly. But next up, we've got a contestant who never even came close to that level of redemption. Adam Laval from season 14 pulled off a move that left everyone stunned. He served up a dish that wasn't even entirely his own, not fully at least. Imagine borrowing rice from a teammate and trying to pass it off as your own creation. Oh, Adam, you crafty devil. He kicked things off strong in the signature dish challenge, even wowing Chef Ramsay with his first dish and racking up a solid 4 points. But then, things went downhill fast. In the Alaskan Fish Challenge, where the task was to match fish heads to their tails, Adam got paired with Millie Medley. But this wasn't your typical challenge, just look at it.
Come on, guys. Let's go. Come on, Millie. Let's go. You got a card.
The heads and tails were scattered in different icy ponds, making it a nightmare to identify the fish species. Right from the jump, Adam started griping about the cold ice.
I should have peed before we got down there, because as soon as I touched that cold water, whoo, had to chew that back.
Come on, Adam, ice is supposed to be cold. That's kind of the point. Even though the blue team snagged a 5-minute head start, Adam still couldn't keep up, despite having the advantage. He found himself in a pickle, unable to cook his rice on time, and had to rely on his partner for help.
Toto is just not getting done. I thought I left myself enough time. 3 minutes to go, chef.
How thoughtful, right? But man, did that decision blow up in his face. Adam and Millie were the last duo to present their dish to guest judge Michael Simarusti. Adam's pan-seared halibut with grilled baby bok choy and basmati rice looked solid, and he managed to impress Simarusti.
Fish is cooked nicely here and pretty well seasoned.
Turns out the rice Adam used wasn't even his, it was borrowed from his partner. Yeah, he actually went through with it. Even though Adam wowed the judge with his dish, that sneaky move with the borrowed rice didn't sit right with everyone. Both Adam and Millie served dishes with rice. But how? Suspicion quickly crept in when the judge started noticing the similarities. Adam's face instantly drained of color. Of course, Chef Ramsay wasn't about to let this slide. He picked up on the weird vibes and confronted Adam about swiping Medley's rice. Adam tried to play it cool, but Chef Ramsay wasn't buying it.
Did you take some of Millie's rice? I'm sorry.
Cornered, Adam had to fess up. He did use Medley's rice, meaning the dish wasn't entirely his. What a shame. Adam's dish was good enough to win the challenge and give his team that crucial 5-minute lead, but his little rice swapping scheme cost them the victory. The blue team ended up losing the challenge. As a result, the blue team got stuck with the punishment: seafood delivery and prepping fish for the next service. It was a brutal day for them.
Because today is seafood delivery day.
But only one of them really deserved that punishment. And after that long, grueling day, guess what they got for lunch? Let's just say it wasn't exactly 5-star cuisine.
Butter and jelly.
I don't care, I'm hungry and I need something to eat.
Yeah, what a sweet reward, huh? Adam should have just cooked his own rice and saved his team and himself from that terrible punishment. Hopefully, Adam learned a valuable lesson about cooking with integrity. But just wait till you see the ultimate kitchen disaster in action. Jeremy Madden from season 11 was a real piece of work. And guess what? He didn't even have to try to earn that title.
Some disgusting pig.
From the jump, Jeremy's incompetence was glaringly obvious. I mean, the guy practically torpedoed the blue team's entire day. That says it all. While Ray Alongi was busy blaming the pans for dropping eggs, Jeremy's real problem was his total lack of communication.
Hey, he's not even answering me. Can I get an answer from you?
Remember when Jeremy completely missed an order and Chef Ramsay called him out?
What was that callback?
I wasn't able to hear it, Chef.
Oh, fuck me.
The dude just straight up admitted he didn't hear a word of it. Like, seriously? And that's not even half of it. He had the audacity to stand up to Chef Ramsay when he couldn't even get croissants right. But hey, at least he was good at one thing, standing around doing absolutely nothing.
Jeremy standing in the middle there like that with his breakfast.
Jeremy, walk!
Wait, did he just blank out or something? Even Chef Ramsay was baffled, just as confused as the rest of us, wondering what on earth Jeremy was doing. It's rough when one teammate's lack of communication and skills drags down the whole squad.
Are you guys walking with the omelets? Jeremy, are they all coming?
In a kitchen, being able to talk and get things done is crucial, and Jeremy's failure to do either was beyond frustrating for everyone involved.
Jeremy is dead weight, plain and simple. I mean, he's going back to...
And for all of us watching too. Hopefully, Jeremy took a long, hard look at himself and stepped up his game. Sometimes, screwing up can be the wake-up call you need to grow. But nope, Jeremy's kitchen calamities didn't stop there. Just when you thought he couldn't possibly mess up more, he found a way. After he finally brought the croissant to the pass, Jeremy had this sudden deer-in-headlights moment.
Big boy. So where's the smoked salmon scrambled eggs?
Where the hell was the smoked salmon? In his panic, Jeremy rushed and grabbed a plate from Dan Ryan, even though the dish wasn't ready yet.
Oh, salmon, they're dying. Come on.
Watch your back, come on, come down.
It's like he couldn't wait to be done and completely ignored the rules. When the plates were lined up at the pass, Chef Ramsay quickly noticed something fishy with one of them.
Some disgusting pig brought me the sample scrambled eggs.
And whose plate was it? You guessed it, Jeremy's. But this wasn't just any plate, and I think you know where this is going.
The sample scrambled eggs that I cooked an hour ago.
Yeah, it's almost hard to believe how dense he could be. Did he even realize he brought up the sample plate? Chef Ramsay was in utter disbelief and didn't hold back from giving Jeremy a well-deserved earful.
Jeremy! Damn! You fucking killed someone with that!
Moments like these honestly make me wonder if I'm watching the same show these guys are competing in. And for Jeremy, I'm not sure he knew where he was either. Now, let's take a deep dive into Season 10, Episode 5, when Barbie Marshall was teamed up with Christina Wilson during a Mexican night theme. But unfortunately, Barbie's night didn't kick off as planned. For someone with her experience, it was pretty shocking to see her send out a mix of bland mussels along with perfectly cooked ones.
Even the color's different. Bland, delicious. Unbelievable.
But Barbie didn't let that slip up get her down. She quickly bounced back with a redo, saving the day for the red team's appetizers. Things took a nosedive though, when it was time for the main course. That's when Barbie, in an attempt to clean up the mess, pulled a surprising move.
Taking special precautions to make sure she doesn't join them.
She whipped out a thermometer to check the chicken, and everyone was caught off guard. I mean, sure, I've got a meat thermometer at home, but at this level, you're supposed to judge doneness by sight and feel. So, while she was sneaking in her little gadget, Chef Ramsay caught her red-handed, and his reaction? Oh, you gotta see it to believe it.
Today we need that to cook a breast of chicken.
Classic Chef Ramsay, right? But things got even crazier back in the dorms. Barbie shocked everyone by nominating herself. But then, she turned around and argued that she wasn't the weakest chef and didn't deserve to be on the chopping block. Mixed signals much? This was one of those rare moments when Chef Ramsay actually decided to keep someone who nominated themselves. Doesn't mean he was thrilled about it though. Now, if we're talking about lazy contestants, this next guy took it to a whole new level by sending out an old dish instead of making a fresh one. So, Brandon Heavy was running the fish station and he hit a major snag during dinner service. When he sent out his first appetizer, Chino Chang was MIA, and there was zero communication. To top it all off, Chef Ramsay lost his patience and put Chang through the ringer for the whole mess.
Get your head out of the rice and talk to him.
Yes, chef.
But wait, the story doesn't end there. When Chang finally sent out his appetizer, it wasn't just a little overdone, it was burnt to a crisp. Not once, but twice. We're talking Charcoal City here, and you won't believe what happened next.
But, Chino, what the fuck is going on?
Fine dining experience, huh? But the chaos just kept rolling. After what seemed like forever, Chang finally nailed an appetizer that Chef Ramsay actually approved. But just as Chef Ramsay was starting to feel optimistic, he noticed Heavy was already standing by with the sea bass order while the rest of the team was still struggling to catch up. And the reason? Heavy didn't bother communicating with anyone about where he was in the process. Chef Ramsay was teetering on the edge.
No, chef.
And the garnish already?
No, chef.
You've got to work as a team.
Honestly, Heavy had it coming, right? Jumping ahead a bit, Chef Ramsay called for the next ticket, and Heavy had to start on a fresh batch of sea bass. But as the orders piled up, Chef Ramsay couldn't shake the feeling that Heavy might have tried to sneak out the same old sea bass he cooked earlier. Would Heavy really stoop that low? Chef Ramsay had to know, so he confronted Heavy head on. And Heavy's response?
So where's the old one then?
Threw it away, chef.
Another contestant who thought he could pull a fast one on Chef Ramsay, and another who failed miserably. But Chef Ramsay wasn't about to let it slide. He demanded Heavy show him the old sea bass he claimed to have trashed. But guess what?
Chef, I can't find it.
Are you lying to me? Because I'm going to stop this whole fucking kitchen.
Yep, Heavy couldn't find it. Why? Because he never threw it away in the first place. You could practically see the color drain from his face. The guy was totally busted. Naturally, Chef Ramsay wasn't thrilled about being lied to.
Bass from 10 minutes ago, or is that a fresh one you cooked?
You've got to hand it to Chef Ramsay. He has a way of making things entertaining. As the pressure mounted, Heavy couldn't keep up the charade any longer. He finally admitted that, yes, the sea bass was indeed the old one. Not that he had much choice at that point. But did anyone expect Chef Ramsay to give him a gold star for honesty? Not a chance.
Why?
But hey, the show must go on, right? After Chef Ramsay ordered the blue team to start from scratch, he had something entirely different in mind for Heavy.
I'll send you out there and then. Let me tell you that.
So, no shocker here, Heavy and Chang were both nominated for elimination. And guess who got the boot? None other than Heavy. Seems like arrogance and dishonesty didn't do him any favors. Better luck next time, buddy. It's amazing how some people think they can outsmart Chef Ramsay. But if you think that's bold, wait until you hear about the folks who tried to pull one over on Sous Chef Scott. Take this genius from season 1, for example. He thought he could wow Chef Ramsay by cutting corners. If everything I've mentioned so far tells you anything, you already know how that worked out for him. So, after the blue team lost the blind taste test, they got slammed with a punishment that was a real double whammy. Not only did they have to tackle a mountain of dirty dishes, but they also got the thrilling task of unlocking the storage room during a crazy busy service. Piece of cake, right? But our man, Andrew Bonito, in all his wisdom, decided he wasn't having it. He figured he could crack the code and save everyone some time. And his brilliant idea? Well, who needs to follow the rules when you can just cheat your way through it, right? And guess who caught him red-handed this time? Not Chef Ramsay, but Sous Chef Scott. And man, was he livid.
Get that tape off of there.
Even Sous Chef Scott, who's definitely seen his fair share of kitchen chaos, couldn't believe the audacity of our boy Andrew. Things escalated quickly. Sous Chef Scott lost it, and it was a sight to behold.
You fucked it up, you get a punishment. You don't fucking rig it so it works for you.
You know, some fans say Chef Scott is secretly scarier than Chef Ramsay when he's mad, and honestly, I'm not arguing. I even made a video about the guy recently that dives into why. If you haven't checked it out yet, you should. So, what happened next?
Andrew just ruined it for you because he was taping the door. When you need him, you gotta come in here and get one.
Sous Chef Scott took that tray of chicken and sent it right back where it belonged, the storage room. Meanwhile, the whole team had to start from scratch, all thanks to our boy Andrew. Teamwork might make the dream work, but when it's not working, it's a nightmare. But get this, Andrew's day was just getting started. He ended up being one of the lucky few who got punished for messing up the punishment. Yep, double trouble for him. If only he had just followed the rules, we wouldn't even be talking about him right now. But some contestants really like to push the limits to get their way. Speaking of which, let's dive into another wild episode, where Jackie decided to give her fellow chefs a run for their money, literally. No joke, the chaos she unleashed probably had the others making bets under the table over who would come out on top. For some context, Jackie had a pretty impressive track record of temper tantrums and was hands down the biggest bully of her season, maybe even the whole show. One of her most infamous moments was a showdown with Kristen, 10 episodes into season 15. This is where Jackie really let her true colors fly. So here's how it all went down. All the chefs were chilling in the dorms after a long, hectic day in the kitchen, not to mention a wild elimination round. Damn! While most thought Jackie would get the boot, there she was, still in the game and ready to stir the pot with Kristen. And that's when the real fun began. But Kristen wasn't about to just sit back and take it. She fired back with a strong retort.
I'm one of the strongest people on the red team.
It wasn't exactly a secret that Kristen wasn't a fan of Jackie. Throughout their time together, Kristen made it clear she was steering clear of Jackie, and honestly, she had some damn good reasons for it.
Because I know how hard I've worked, and to see someone like that just completely not humble.
Things got heated when Jackie started boasting about being a better chef than Kristen, which eventually blew up into a full-blown fight. But guess how it all kicked off? Over a freaking lighter. When Jackie asked Kristen to pass the lighter, Kristen wasn't about to share.
Kristen, give me your lighter.
No.
Give me your lighter.
Talk like you touch me.
I still can't believe something this petty sparked such drama. Kristen was so pissed off that she started making open threats of violence. No subtlety, just straight up threats. And Jackie, well, you didn't think she was going to back down, did you? Nope. Jackie got so fired up that what she did next will make you wonder how this episode even got past the FCC's standards.
In the face.
Punch me in the
Give me
face.
my lighter, Jackie.
Punch me in the face.
Jackie, give me my
Punch me in the
lighter.
face.
Either
So, she snatched the lighter from Kristen's hand, big deal, right? But that's just where the craziness began.
my lighter.
Yep, that's Jackie for you. Unfiltered aggression at its finest, or worst, depending on how you see it. Jackie wasn't about to cower from some empty threats. Instead, she challenged Kristen to just punch her in the face. Straight up. Whether that's badass or just plain stupid, you be the judge and drop your thoughts in the comments. But hold on, the fight didn't stop there. Kristen called Jackie the B word, and that's really what set Jackie off.
I'd stay far, far away if I were you. You're a disgusting ass bitch.
And then, bam! All hell broke loose.
Bitch.
Don't disrespect me.
While Kristen was losing her mind, yelling and trying to stand up to Jackie, you gotta see Jackie's reaction. She was literally laughing at Kristen's distress.
About it.
Kristen, sit down.
Yeah. I'm dead.
Get the out of here.
I mean, even I'm intimidated, and I wasn't even there. Jackie's no one to mess with. Her threats are as real as they come. But Kristen wasn't about to back down. She tried to give Jackie a piece of her mind, but it didn't end well for her.
Out of my
Put your
face.
hands on me.
That was Kristen's cue to bow out. I mean, getting hit with an entire ashtray full of cigarette butts? Yeah, Kristen had no choice but to walk away.
Oh, bitch. Sit the down. Like, I'm so over.
Call it smart or scared, but only Jackie could pull off something that insane. And wait till you hear what Jackie had to say about her wild move.
It's a game now, and it is to with your mind. That's what happens when you can't strangle a bitch.
Oh yeah, she definitely nailed that bully vibe. But hold up, you've got to see her next move.
Crazy? Deranged?
Honestly, I have no idea what that was, but it looked pretty nuts to me. Let's just say Jackie's a whole different level of crazy and move on to the next chef, because trust me, she's got a hit list and I don't want my name on it. Cigarette ash is not great for my complexion. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Oh right, the only male head chef from season 11 and the most rude and self-righteous contestant on Hell's Kitchen, Barrett Byers. Just like Jackie, Barrett was known for his epic fails in the kitchen, and thankfully, they got caught before hitting the plates. One prime example was in episode 7 of the season, when Barrett kicked things off with his over-the-top arrogance. Well, all that overconfidence of Barrett's went down the drain once service kicked off. It always seems to, doesn't it? So Barrett was on the fish station that night, strutting around like he had it all figured out.
Chef, 2 covers away, chef's table, yeah?
But there was one thing Barrett refused to do. Listen to his teammates, especially Dan.
And just, How long? You ready? How long you need?
And surprise, surprise, that stubbornness led to one thing. Disaster. Just as Barrett handed Chef Ramsay the dish he'd been cooking forever, Chef Ramsay quickly pointed out it was raw.
Raw shrimp. Hey guys, hey, all of you, come here.
Yeah, not shocked at all. But seriously, where did all that time go? Chef Ramsay was absolutely livid.
Come here. A table sat in the kitchen and a raw shrimp.
Barrett was nowhere near serving anything from the fish station that night. It felt like a time warp situation, especially since the red team had already finished their entrees. A while later, while the blue team was scrambling to get their dishes out, Barrett was still struggling with that halibut.
Barrett, talk to me!
2 halibut, 4 minutes out.
Chef Ramsay had to send out an incomplete order because of Barrett's screw-up. And yeah, Chef Ramsay was definitely keeping a close eye on his progress, or lack of it.
Come on, Barrett. Let's hammer this halibut out so we can finish this service.
Finally, Barrett managed to get his act together and brought the halibut to the pass, but Chef Ramsay spotted a ticking time bomb. Take a wild guess what Barrett forgot while fiddling with that halibut.
The paper.
He left the parchment paper on the fish before sending it out to a bunch of old ladies.
Follow it. It's too late.
Thankfully, Chef Ramsay caught this colossal blunder before it went out, or Barrett would have faced some serious grandma wrath. Seriously, Barrett was totally mortified.
Praying that we didn't lose this dinner service.
You'd think someone would have caught this mistake before Chef Ramsay died. And Chef Ramsay? He was so done with Barrett. Ouch, getting dismissed like that has gotta hurt. But hey, Jamie has to be the only contestant in the history of Hell's Kitchen to make a dangerous mistake in the very first round. So, in Season 7, Episode 1, the contestants were all lined up with their signature dishes, ready to kick off the inaugural episode of Hell's Kitchen with a bang. They were all prepped to impress Chef Ramsay with their creations. While the men and women were tied at 1 point each, sous chef Jamie went head-to-head with executive chef Scott to break the tie. Jamie served up a stunning plate of creamy chicken Kiev, but Chef Ramsay spotted a major oversight just as he was about to dig in.
What is that?
It's a creamy chicken Kiev.
Jamie had left a sharp toothpick in her dish.
That is the toothpick.
And you know what happens when you tick off Chef Ramsay? You're in for some serious hell. True to form, Chef Ramsay flat out refused to taste Jamie's dish.
Please don't eat that.
So there was Jamie standing there with her face turning red from her blunder.
I'm a little embarrassed.
I'm not even gonna taste it.
Now, this was Scott's chance to grab the lead for the men's team, but guess what? His dish turned out to be a bigger mess.
There's not one appetizing ingredient.
Both Jamie and Scott flubbed their chances, but Jamie's toothpick mistake was just unforgivable. On a similar note, what Joanna did could have sent a customer straight to the ER. Joanna went into the dinner service with all the confidence in the world, thinking she had this challenge in the bag.
Gotta set up everything for the fish station.
A leader is emerging.
Hey, hang on 1 second.
But oh man, Joanna was about to make a colossal mistake just moments later. She was already skating on thin ice after her risotto disaster.
Soft, it's salty, yes, and it's crap.
Yes, chef.
Yeah.
Then came her spaghetti, and Chef Ramsay immediately noticed a weird smell.
Lie to you. Anyone else smell that? Where's the crab?
In that instant, Joanna knew she had really messed up.
The crab is off! It's fucking rancid!
And what Chef Ramsay said next? Well, it was something you just can't make up.
You'll kill someone! Hey.
That was Joanna's cue to take a timeout for the rest of the service.
Get off! Get off! Julia, take over.
Yes, chef.
Seriously, imagine sitting down for dinner and hearing Chef Ramsay yell, "You killed somebody." Chef Ramsay was so over it that when JP suggested recommending another dish, Chef Ramsay took the chance to lay into him too.
Recommend something else.
No, fuck recommend. Yeah, recommend a new restaurant.
Looks like Chef Ramsay had officially thrown in the towel that night. And that's a wrap on some of the craziest Hell's Kitchen moments you wouldn't believe happened. If you enjoyed this roller coaster, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite jaw-dropping moment. Who knows, maybe I'd feature them in an upcoming video. Also, you know the drill, if you want to watch another mind-bending video, then make sure to check out this next post right here. It's even crazier.